Hello everyone, today I'm going to be featuring a deck built by Crokeyz. I was watching him play, it did look to be pretty good in this metagame, and I feel like it has a lot of potential, and I want to see if there are potentially things that I see that I might want to like shift around after we played a few times. But first things first, we have to fix this mana base. This mana base just does not really work, for the same reason that Esper is no longer playing a Triome. This deck functions in a very similar way to Esper Legends, as in the whole purpose of playing a deck like this is to curve out, and you cannot really afford to play a tap land, especially not for the early game when your curve starts at 1, and even more so in this deck where the curve starts at 1 but you have even more, you have twice as many 1-drops as the Esper deck. So there really is no reason to play this. It will lose you the game most of the times, most of the time that you draw it early game, I think. Even though you do need the colors from this, the odds of you losing from having a tap land are higher than the odds of you losing from not having the right colors, I think. With especially in standard with our really good mana base, with our fast lands, the Plaza of Heroes really fixing a lot of mana, kind of acting as the Triome essentially. So you basically have an untapped Triome already in the deck. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to cut that. And for that same reason, to play a Kumano on turn 1, which is not a legendary, so this land does not tap for red, you do need 14 sources of colored mana that tap for red. And unfortunately here, we do not have anywhere near that. We are currently at 11, so we would need 3 more. Let's count the white sources for Adeline, which I think is going to be the second hardest thing to cast. And that would be at currently 12, 14, no, 12, 16. 16 is not enough, which means we will need, so what other land? Oh no, we have to play, the only other pain land I can play here that would tap for red would be red green. So that is a little bit unfortunate since we already have the pain lands for Forge. So we're going to be doing red green here. So that's 3 extra sources, bringing the total to 14, allowing us to play Kumano on turn 1. And now the problem is Adeline still requires some colored mana. As I calculated before, this is at 16, it needs to be at 18, which is a little bit unfortunate. What's the green at? The green is at 8. Well, now that we added this, it's probably, yeah. So now that we added the extra forest, we are at 12, 16. 16 should be enough for green. Although we do want to green up as well, so that's a consideration. Maybe that means I should add a green white. So we'll be at 17 white, which is 1 off from the required amount to cast Adeline reliably on curve. Which is a little bit unfortunate. I'm trying to figure out if there's any way to curb that. Not really. Not that I can see other than cutting one of these channel lands. But this channel land I can't cut because it is white. So it'd have to be Sokenzan, which is a really good land. So I think unfortunately we will not be able to reach the 18. And I'll just play it as it is. 8, 9, 10, 17. There's no way for me to build this differently, I think. Because these are all the fast lands and pain lands. Yeah, so for the sake of testing, I will not get the 18 sources. But yeah, I do want to test these channel lands and see how good they are. So yeah, I guess it is what it is for now. We'll leave it at that. Also, another thing, in the sideboard, I'm not going to play Luca because I don't want to craft it. So instead, I'm just going to play another Wandering Emperor, or I will just play, let's play something that's similar to Luca. Actually, I kind of like the idea of playing Chandra in this deck. Chandra can be such a good card in certain matchups. But yeah, for the sake of testing the initial build, I'm just going to play a Planeswalker that's very similar. And that is going to be... Wait, where's that 4-mana Planeswalker? Oh, there it is. Arlinn. Okay, that's about it. So essentially, this is Esper Legends, but instead of playing those colors, we're playing Naya. And the goal is to go wide with Jetmir. And Jetmir has a static ability, depending on the amount of creatures you have in play, for three or more creatures, +1/+0 in Vigilance for every creature you control. If you have more than 6, if you have more than 6, it gives +1/+0 again and trample, so it'll be +2/+0 vigilance and trample. And then if you have 9 or more, which is never happening, you will get +1/+0 and double strike. So it'll be vigilance, trample, double strike, +3/+0 and everything. But that's probably not happening. And the rest, we have a new card, Tivar Stand. We have, so this does at instant speed, you can basically cast it for just green if you want, or otherwise you can cast it for green and X, and it gives +X/+X, hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So that's pretty good. Another new card is Malira, the Living Cure, which is a 2-mana 3/3, and that's fantastic. And it has an activated ability that you don't need to tap for, so you just activate it whenever at instant speed. You exile Malira and you choose another creature or artifact. When it's put into a graveyard this turn, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control, essentially acting as another protection spell. So we've got protection here, and protection here. In my opinion, this might be a little bit too much protection. I'm mostly looking at the Tivar Stand potentially being a little bit too much, but we'll see. Like, I'd almost rather have another Malira to curve out better than to have another 4 Tivar Stand. But again, we're going to be testing the list as it is with the upgraded mana base. And yeah, that is about it. Let's just jump into it. I lost so many ranks yesterday, and it seems to be continuing today. So yeah, I'm not going to be showing that first match. I had a 0 lander into multiple mulligans, and then I hit Atraxa Reanimator, and they hit it on turn 4 with the 4 mana thing that brings it out of the graveyard, so that was fun. This deck has like no counterplay to that, and not in the main deck at least. And yesterday was pretty much the same thing. I thought my luck would finally, level out today, but looks like that isn't the case. So hopefully this match goes a little better. That's a pretty good card. So it's Esper. Which means I just want to keep the Aggro up. Oh, I can't. I don't have double white. Yeah, this deck definitely has a mana issue. Now that the triomes help the mana in terms of colors, but it hurts the deck overall. But because of Kumano, I wanted to see how good Kumano was first. And in the first match, I pretty much confirmed that it's really not that good, because every time you top deck a Kumano in the mid game, it is really, really bad. I think that's the first thing I'm going to be cutting. So we can't do Malira plus hold up. We can't even hold up to our stand either. So I guess I'm just going to attack. If they block, they block. If they don't, I play Squee. Okay, I'm going to use Tivar Stand here to be mana efficient. That way I can use the Ganjo next turn. This costs so much more mana. I think Tivar Stand is supposed to be a 3 of in the main deck, and maybe 1 sideboard as well. Being on the draw with this deck just feels terrible. Yeah, jeez. It's really, really bad. Wow, I can't believe it would auto tap that way. I do like the 3 Aganjo and 3 Sokenzan. That does feel like a pretty good way to build the mana base, because this deck, when you flood, you will lose the game. So if you're flooding, you really need your lands to be impactful. And with the 4 Plaza, the Ganjo, and the Sokenzan, that really does add up in the end. Although this deck has a major problem with stats in general, that once you get outstatted by something, it's really rough to get through. Which I guess is where the Tivar Stand comes in, but when you have Thalia, that's really awkward. So you basically need Jetmir, essentially. It's like the main focus of this deck is to get Jetmir down. And potentially, yeah, you have no way to discard either. Like, one of the main weaknesses that this deck has over Esper is the fact that you have no conniving. So when you're stuck with Thalia, you're stuck with Thalia. That is quite the problem. I think they would block Thalia, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I'm gonna lose this game if I don't start attacking, I think. And I have to attack while they have Plaza down. Okay, they're just gonna let me go through. In this case, I just probably replace one of the Thalias to block. It's so bad. Yeah, maybe playing Fable is actually a genuine strategy in this deck, even though you can't copy anything. Just the looting alone. The looting alone, I think, is relevant. But maybe not. Like when you're flooding, what do you really do? There's no mana sink other than stand, which I guess is the reason it's there. But it's not a very good mana sink. There's no real trample in this deck. There's no flying. I just have to keep swinging at this point. Before this pops, I need to get a few trades in. That's good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Let's have another Thalia. At least I can use it. That's the least of my problems, though. This deck definitely needs Jetmir. I'm trying to wonder what kind of card advantage could you possibly play in a deck like this that would make sense. I can't really think of anything. Are they countering that? They are. Sure, did I get a draw? That could be good. Okay. I mean, at this point I just play it, right? I need to be mana efficient to hold up the thing as well, and I can protect it. Okay, this is not the end of the world. I should play this, but like I'm too used to playing Esper, and in Esper you would not play this. Oh man. And this will generate my 6th attacker, so I think we actually win here. Cool. Again, this deck, when you hit the Jetmir, it's fantastic. When you don't, it's not fantastic. But we hit it, so there you have it. This is showcasing like the actual power of the deck, and it actually does have a good matchup in Esper. As long as you don't flood too hard, or at least if you flood, draw your lands that channel, and you'll be in a good spot as long as you eventually hit your Jetmir. Because otherwise the deck doesn't really do anything. It's just playing like a bunch of only Adlane. The only other good creature is Adlane, because this can outscale a lot of blockers, and combined with a might, maybe can attack through for a lot. So, but the problem is it needs the might. While Jetmir just needs you to have a board state, Adlene alone will probably trade with something unless you have the might to give unblockable, or Tavarstan at least. So this is definitely your only second backup. I do think it probably has to be a 4-of for that reason. Yeah, relying on Jetmir is just not consistent enough, I think. That, or we have to find a way to give multiple things trample. I'm trying to think of that. There's maybe an equipment. Like this card should definitely be something else. I don't know what, but I do know it should be something else. Anyways, let's refocus. This is just Esper Legends, the classic. Yeah. TA Ganjo has to come in. So does Crokeyz add a land? Like period? Or does he cut other things like Boseiju? To keep it at 28. Tavarstan, sure, it's okay. I think Wandering Emperor is just better because it adds interaction and it acts as a combat trick as well. They don't really run that much removal. So yeah, let's cut to Tavarstan. It's gonna be the clunkiest card post board. Either way, I think. The rest is fine. I've never ever in my life run 4 channel lands. I don't know if it's correct, but I don't know. He has a decent win rate with it. So all I can do is test it out and see for myself. Theoretically, I think it's okay. Alright. No red. Which is unfortunate because I just tailored the mana towards Kumano for red on turn 1. But we did not hit it. At least I'll hit the Hajar and then the Strangle next turn. I'll definitely play this first. Should I play Malira first? That way I can do... What's the better creature to have on the battlefield first? I think it's Malira. Yeah. In case it dies. I will be able... No, maybe... I'm trying to think. Maybe there's a reason to not play this first, but this doesn't attack very well into Underdog. But neither does this. I don't know, I'll play this. Just in case I want to do like Strangle plus a Gandro. That was the thing that's making me lean towards Hajar. That way I have the red open in case I need to use both. Just a mana efficiency thing. The Might is very good in this matchup. But it's also very good for them. Okay. That is terrifying. They don't have second black, so I guess I'm never attacking into that. Oh. Very good. That is a spell. I am surprised they're running that. But at the same time, not surprised. I don't think it's time to use this. I don't think it's time to attack either. I don't know what to do. This position is horrendous. I'm risking facing shield red next turn. I have no stats to power through this. That's kind of the problem, is that sure, this deck has a bunch of like 3/3s, but 3/3s just kind of trade with 3/2s. So that stat line only matters when you're playing against another aggro deck, and they have weaker power creatures that will just like 2 power creatures, but that is not the case for Esper. Oh, that attack is very good for me because I'm not blocking, and that means I can attack. That's good. That is a little bit less good. Yeah, again, the same problem that I mentioned before, where Esper would be able to potentially discard these, but I'm stuck with them. So while this deck has a lot of power in it, it will struggle with consistency quite a bit, I think. Alright, let's get rid of this Underdog. And just swing through. Most likely to destroy the Might or something. Ooh. Ow. That sucks. I was scared of Urtai, otherwise I would have just exiled that. At least I have another one, so it's actually not that bad. This, you need Jetmir, and even with Jetmir, I would just trade with this. Like it's not even like that's good at all. Okay, they're still swinging. That's really good for me. Oh, they did not swing. Okay, that's really bad for me. I'm kind of just screwed here. Brutal Cathar, also something I think this deck might need. With Malera and Skrelv to protect it, it seems pretty reliable and would be really good in this matchup. I don't know, I usually see this matchup from the Esper side, and I thought this deck would have a good matchup into Esper. But on the play, I don't really know what you do. Like against their 3/2s, against Rafine in general, doesn't feel that good at all.
I'll help any way I can.
If they just start making 2/2s, it's over. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, oh, they did that. They didn't attack. Okay, well, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I beat that. That might be something that could eventually. Although I will have to protect it. Oh wait, they can minus leave. Oh, I'm so dead. Leave me with the might. Okay, good. They're not doing it. Alright. I'll use the mana. I don't think they're gonna attack here. Even if they did, they would just protect. Jetmare maybe? Sucks. Proccing the Hajar over the Melira is actually, I think, better. Because if they minus, I can pop this to save this, but I can't do it the other way around, so... It is what it is. I will be able to attack that, I think. If I draw land, that would be nice. Sure. Double Ganjo, is that better or worse than... No, it's worse than just one Wandering Emperor. Yeah, they can get indestructible anyways. This is just so hard. Such a losing spot here against Plaza and Shield Red. Like, there's no way to interact with this in this entire deck. I would have needed Qatar much earlier. I do think Qatar should be in the 75 somewhere due to the sheer amount of protection that you have access to. Oh, only one can attack. Oh, interesting. Not much I can do about that. Second Aganjo. Oh my goodness. That is so bad. Giving it indestructible. I guess is fine. Probably better than casting. Is it better than casting Wandering Emperor? They cast Wandering Emperor, it goes to 4, it has Vigilance, so actually it's not that bad. And they can't wait, they can't use their thing anymore either. I'm gonna use this just to save mana, because I need to use my mana more efficiently next turn, and I don't want to go down to 4.
I'm home. Strike fast and strike hard.
Oh, I can attack that too. That's interesting. It's only an attack phases that you can't target that. It's really interesting. Ooh, no blocks. Okay. Oh, they can re-Ganjo because it's still attacking. Oh no, it is still attacking. Jeez, that is unfortunate. Is that still attacking? I didn't consider that first. Okay, that was worse than for sure. I can't give it protection. It has colorless, and now they just sweep my board. Yeah, okay, that was
Is that all?
I did not consider that it would first strike through and then it's still attacking so they can. Oh, I should have Melirad. Whatever. This game is just over anyways. Like, there's no way I can beat a Wandering. Yeah, this game's over. It's whatever. Let's just move away from this game. That was kind of cursed. Alright. Anyways. I would much rather have Cathar than Strangle in this matchup. Like, much better in this overall matchup. But yeah, we still have like a decent shot at this. It's not great, but I do think I have to cut some legendaries. So Thalia is not like super good. It's not. I wouldn't say it's bad because they're running a lot of. No, they're running a lot of non-creature spells. I can't do it. Also, they have Path of Peril. Path of Peril, such a pain. I'm definitely gonna cut a Strangle for a stand, just to be able to attack into Shield Red better. In case that happens again. A rough one. You really, yeah, you only have 2 good cards in the deck that can like kind of solo carry a game, And one of them is Adeline, and the second is Jetmir. So if you don't find either of those, you kind of lose. So I definitely feel like 3 Adeline is totally reasonable. Ugh. I kind of have to keep this. Like, I do have both the Adelines, which is exactly what I was talking about. But the red is rough here. Not having access to this. Oh my god, that is... I can't believe they would board in duress. It's just and I draw another 3-drop. They boarded in duress and hit one of my only non-creature spells. Fantastic. And hopefully they miss a 2-drop or something. It's like my only shot. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I gotta lead with that lane, even though it's not great. It's better than trading this off and having no board. I could just play this and pass, but not as relevant. I need a land so I can hold this up. And oh god. Oh man, this mana base is so rough. So many awkward lands. Like, imagine playing Triomes as well. Like, there's no way your deck can have 4 Triomes, 4 fast lands for... No, 8 fast lands, right? Jeez. That's a rough one. That's a really rough one. Attacking with this would trade here and this would trade here, which is not good. At all. Does that mean I don't attack? I would get 2 1/1s. I guess honestly it's not the worst, but then I only have 1 legendary the next turn. What if I just attack with this? They block here. I guess that's okay. Get 1 damage in. I get to keep a 1/1 and I lose my squeeze. So it's essentially the same except I get 1 damage and they lose a blocker. I wish we had Snakeskin Veil in standard. I would play that over Tavar Stand, I think. But Tavar Stand would be a good draw here, maybe. Okay, they have a Ganjo potentially. That would be devastating. Okay. They definitely have a Ganjo. Don't know how to tell you that in the different... Okay. Well, actually, that's okay. That's okay, right? Like, a Ganjo is okay. I will just use this and not attack with that lane, or I can swing at that lane and replace it. Or I could play Squeeze, Cycle. That sounds decent, actually. I'm gonna play this. No. The auto tapper is horrendous in this deck. Play the Squee out. Get this board going. And just not attack with that lane, I think. That way I can get the thing back out the graveyard next turn. Get a bunch of damage in. The Sokenzan is very, very relevant in this deck. Very, 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 very much so. So having 3 Sokenzan, 3 Aganjo does seem correct because you're scared of flooding, you don't have any ways to connive. So yeah. Alright, I saved the ad lane for next turn. Keep generating a bunch of tokens. And keep pushing the squee through. Ooh, that's annoying. Oh my good. Oh my god. Oh my, you're getting it. Oh, this is where the deck pops off. This is exactly where the deck pops off. But see how lucky I have to get there? Like, it's tough. I needed to hit Jetmir essentially, because otherwise I'm kind of in, like, I can't attack with that lane because the stat line is not good enough to trade into other, like, they had a 4-2, right? Like, that's such a bad trade for me. I'd never be able to attack. And then now that they have a life linker, it's even harder. But at least you get to see, like, why this deck has potential. Jetmir plus the token maker creatures is just a brutal attack phase for you, and your opponent will most likely just die on the spot. Let's make a few changes. After I played 1 game, I mean, I played 2 games because the first one was horrendous. I don't want to showcase that. Yeah, Kumano, honestly, I don't like it. I really don't. It makes the mana worse. And potentially it does force you to play Triomes, but then if you're playing Triomes, why do you want a one drop? So yeah, we can move more towards making sure Adeline comes down on 3, which I think is very relevant. And potentially playing Brutal Cathar as the extra creature. That doesn't sound too bad to me. Or maybe playing more 2 drops as well. That also doesn't sound too bad to me. Especially Malira, which is a fantastic card. Alright, anyways, let's fix the mana. So we've got 8, we've got 12, we've got 16, and we've got 17, which is off. I'm gonna go to 19 to be sure. 19, and what is the land that we want most? So now that since we care less about early game untapped, wait, let's see. Untapped white needs 14, and we are at not enough for Skrelv. Actually, I did not realize that. So we do need one more untapped source. And I think that would be green white. Green white fast what's it called? Painland. Green white Painland. Green white Painland plus 2 sources of white, which is good for Adeline, and plus 2 sources of untapped white on 1, which is good for Skrelv, making it 15. So we're 1 above the Skrelv requirement, and we're 1 above the Adeline requirement, which should be relatively consistent. So that's good. And then the last land should just be a slow land. That way we have better untapped mana the next turn. And should it be red? Let's see, for Hajar, we have... Okay, we do need 14 for Hajar. So we are 1 off, so it should be red. And then probably for Tavar Stand being one of the cards that we might have to hold up at some point. So that should be green-red, and it should be a fast land. No, pain land, because we need it on 2. Okay, there we go. And then the extra 2 cards, either they have to be something impactful that can win us the game. I'm thinking legendary. Let's take a look. Legendary. We've got Mondrak, which is not a very good card. It's okay in this deck. Like, we're generating some tokens, but not that many. Oh, Elishnorn, not really. Oh, this is... Why is this under Alchemy? Oh, yeah, when you import a deck, it goes straight into Alchemy. I forgot about that. Definitely not... Probably not elsewhere. Ooh, Felden. Felden is a really interesting card because it can act as card advantage. Oh, what about this? Double strike and its card draw? Atsushi is a very good card. I'm okay with this. I am very much okay with this. Having a flyer is such a huge upside for this deck since you usually need the last points of damage to come in. It might have to be double Atsushi. Like, the card is actually totally playable. I've played it in multiple decks. I do think it's quite good. 4/4 Flying Trampler is just good. And then having a Death Clause where you can exile the top 2 and play them until the next turn, which our deck is really cheap, right? It's able to do that. Treasure Token's kind of useless, but it's mostly about the potential card draw, which is why I was looking at Jetmir in the first place. Ooh, wait. Miglaws? Miglaws can gain Menace, which is a form of evasion. And that is quite good, right? Beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power. So Adeline would count. Not much else though. Risona? Risona... Ooh, Rem? The spell would deal damage to you or other permanents you control. And that damage? If a spell would deal damage to an opponent, oh my goodness. So this stops Brotherhood's End completely. Interesting. Ooh. I love King Darien. It's such a good, like, oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Wait, why is this not in the deck? It helps you like power through, which was my main complaint, was that this deck the 2 drops trade with other good 2 drops, like Harvester, like what's it called? Underdog, but no longer when you curve out a King Darien. Interesting. And also it's a mana sink too, so it's perfect. If you're flooding, you'll have something to do. That impacts the board. That's so good. Okay, I like that. And I like it so much, I'm just going to cut it to our stand, have a better curve out. Now we have more 2-drops, so we have a better curve 2 into 3. And we have some card draw. I'll add a Tavar stand on the board, obviously. Luca just seems like a... Luca or Arlen has to go. I don't know. Luca's -4 is quite okay. It is pretty good, actually. It acts as removal, so I think I'm gonna ditch Arlen. Boseiju times 4. Boseiju times 4 is interesting over Laurent. I did. I don't know the justification for not playing Laurent. Like, sure, Boseiju is a land, but do you really want 4? 4 just straight up green? It is pretty cheap. Maybe you do. I'll keep playing. Okay, I'll. This is one thing I do need to test. Like, when I hit a matchup where Boseiju is good, I need to test if 4 Boseiju is, like, actually legitimate, or if that's just a troll. Could be either one. Wandering Emperor is fantastic, though. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. I do want to test it more, so let's go. In my opinion, what this deck is really... Oh my goodness, this is the first time I hit that. Is that statistically likely? Not really, I think. With 28 lands to hit a 2-lander with 2 Iganjo, not really. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, one thing that I do think this deck really wants, and I don't know if it exists, actually I didn't even search, I should have probably searched, is something like Jadar, which could generate tokens on 2. I think this deck could use something that generates tokens on 2. The extra white source really doing what I want it to here. Do I open with yeah, whatever. Okay, good damage. Some protection up here. They kind of need a sweeper next turn, but I will have the Hajar. Okay, there there you have it. Some control decks will just get hammered by this. Like, I can see it. I can see control decks having a huge problem facing this deck, and this is where the 4th Sokenzan probably comes in, right? Tavar stand. The King Darien being less relevant here than before. Jetmir also not as relevant. More relevant than Atsushi against Esper. I don't know. One is way better into Wandering Emperor and into Sweeper because you would get the draw off of it. One is better if it just dies. Interesting. I think I just play Jetmir. Although I probably won't have any board state. Honestly, this deck just does really well against control, I think. I like the position here. So we're going up to 29 lands, which I think is fine, right? Or do I still want to cut like a Boseiju or something? Maybe. Now that I added some green, right? I think we're still fine on green. What is this? 12, 16. Wait, what? 12, 16. That's, yeah, no, never mind. That's enough. That's enough. One more spell. Oh, we can cut a Ganjo. No, we can't. We can never cut a Ganjo, actually, because we need the white. Oh. Oh, I'm thinking about the sideboard. My opponent's thinking about conceding. That's always the... I don't know. I kind of wanted to play that out because I want to see how well this deck does against control on the draw. But let's play another one. I get the Onigiri, Samurai, whatever. We are on the play. We have 2 Jetmir. Awkward curve. But yeah, imagine having Kumano in this hand. It would not even be playable. Like, even if I did have it, it would not be playable. Oh, there we go. 4 lane. Paying off already. Alright, this is something I'm still not sure. What is better? Okay, we're facing white. What is better? Hajar or Malira? I guess against specifically mono white, they're both terrible. So I guess it's Malira first. because this adds damage potentially, but this does not. Okay. Got the curve into Adeline and potentially Jetmir, which is the whole point, right? That's why this deck needs 4 Adeline, because this is like the nuts, right? Perfect draw. Yep, perfect draw. And the extra white source paying off as well. This is feeling really good on the play. Like, it really does feel like a good deck when you can hit the cards that are very important, very core to the deck's power. Alright, see, this is why I can't protect that, because it doesn't go in the graveyard, they just exile it. That's unfortunate. But this does not protect it either, so not like that would have changed anything. Yeah, I definitely curve this Jetmare out. That way, I have another one in case it leaves. I don't want to overcommit into a sweeper, although I probably could. A Bankbuster, very good. They don't have interaction, I will be in a good spot. Very good. Okay. Legendary land, very good. Grell, very good. Ajar is fine, because if they sweep, I can just pop it. And I can protect it with Melira as well. Vigilance, very nice. This is a fantastic spot. I'm actually enjoying the deck from this position. Like, the first time, so in the 3 matches I've played, this is the first time where I'm like, yeah, this is good. This slaps. It's very fun just running over. Like, this is the first aggro deck I think I've seen in the format that feels like it feels like an aggro deck. And it does what aggro failed to do in the past, which is have something like Embercleave-ish that can kind of end the game early on. And Jetmare does that, although it relies on your board state being at a decent size. But it does do that. Okay, this is a Boseiju matchup, right? So I hit what I wanted, I think. Time to test it out. See, although against... Oh, this is terrible. I would rather have a Loran in this matchup. Like, imagine giving them another Plains. I guess we'll find out if it's good or not, but I'm not too happy about that. I'll tell you that much. I'm not too happy about having to play Boseiju against Mono White. Maybe I just don't even do it. Because giving them an extra mana is potentially just more devastating than me getting my card back. I'm not doing it. I think it's worse. I think getting my mediocre creature back and giving them a mana is probably not what I want to be doing. I'll play 1 though. Stay at 28. Cut the Atsushi because it's pretty bad in this matchup. I think Wandering Emperor is pretty good because it gives Vigilance. Squee on the draw. I mean, it's kind of necessary to have a few squeeze. I don't know if I want more. King Darian's not that good. Yeah, whatever. King Darian can go. Or Luca, probably. Luca generating board presence is a little bit relevant. The rest is whatever. Stand will be good in this matchup. Yeah, Boseiju ×4. I don't know of a single matchup actually where you would want that. Like, when would you want to give your opponent a land? Allowing them to play around your attacks in Thalia? I don't know. Also, Peacekeeper seems pretty good post board. Because you don't have counter magic, right? So having access to Peacekeeper does sound like something that would potentially make the deck relatively good. I do think I keep... Do I need... No, I don't need... No, I don't. Okay. Keep this in case I need to channel it. In case of flood. Okay, very good. Scrub is a fantastic card in this matchup. Probably one of my best. There's a farmhand. So we'll get to channel this most likely. There's another Might. I won't be able to discard it. I hope they deal with this one. Yeah, this deck needs Loran. Loran and Cathar, potentially. 2 cards that I think would help the deck in specific matchups. One against Esper Legends, the Cathar, and the other against Mono White and against other enchantment-based decks like... So I guess Boseiju is more for Atraxa, right? Probably taking a Might, right? Mighty Might. Yep. 2 mana to deal with my 1-drop, and I'll just play another one. Do I play it now? Probably not. I have to curve this out. Unfortunate. Might be able to weave this in the next turn. If I had a 2-drop, I would definitely play it. Ooh. Knockout blow. What's better, Melira or Squee? I think it's Melira. More damage on this turn? Yeah, I mean, it would... Yeah, it's just more damage, and also this would have to exile itself, which means that Squee doesn't even... will never gain that card back, right? Like, I'd rather this potentially die. Imagine Bosei doing that. Okay, that's a good draw. Alright, I think I just have to play this. I value the board more than anything here, I think. This matchup does seem pretty tough. I will admit that. Without Jetmir. With Jetmir, we're in business, but oh, that's not bad. Knockout blow is something that is pretty rough for this deck. We've got multiple red creatures that are very strong. I should attack with that. Having 4-red lane here is better because it gives me a higher chance of drawing it. We got 4-red lane for Jetmir. Is there any other possible finisher that I'm not thinking of that should be in the stack for a matchup like this? I don't necessarily think so. Ouch. Cathar would be good. I would actually almost... Yeah, I would be ready to play Cathar in this matchup. There's so many tokens, and... How do you pass... How do you get through this? Without a card like Cathar? Don't think... Oh, Jetmir, I guess? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I could never go through because of Bankbuster. They're gonna flip this, so now my only chance is Jetmir, which is one of the main strengths of this deck, is that you still have outs. You still have outs. Jetmir being a very powerful top deck, no matter what board state you have, but especially if you're in position to get the trample from it. Unfortunately, Stand and Thalia, yeah, I think I mentioned that in the first game that I'm not going to be showing. I think this combo is a little bit unfortunate, but... Yeah, this game is lost. Even I can't get this out, so even if I draw Jetmir, I'll just lose. Okay, let's move on. They have too much card draw. Like, they can draw 6 there. I guess Wandering Emperor over Luca. No, not in the play. Not in the play. Var stand. So our stand is good. King Darien, not that bad. Like, getting a boost of stats is kind of relevant. 1 second. Alright, 1 second. I'm thinking about this King Darien. I do think Melira is going to be good, but if I draw multiple, I'd be pretty sad. So I think I'd diversify it a little bit. But it's the same situation for Might, kind of. Yeah, we'll see. Also, Wandering Emperor giving me scaling stats, I think is relevant. I probably should try to fit in the fourth one. No, I don't know how. But maybe instead of one Tivar stand. I never want to draw too many stands. I won't have the mana to hold it up most of the time. 28 lands. We do have good amount of red sources, right? We got 4, 8, 12, 14, 17. 2-drop 2. Yeah, I have to keep it. It's unfortunate, but this Luca is terrible. I should have cut to our stand. I regret it so much. Having multiple, like, you can't use it. Ow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If I miss my land drops, we lose because I just drew another 4-drop. Okay. Good. Lucky. Now I need to get lucky again. This is tragic. Oh, they have knockout blow again? Oh my goodness. Unfortunate. Same situation as last time? Nope. Okay. Alright, we're in a little bit of a better spot than before. Just a little bit. That's okay, actually. If I hit Luca, we're okay. Hey, Luca, we're okay. Yeah, protect that. That's exile. I can't hit Luca anymore, but Tivar stand just should have been a creature. It's so bad. Okay, please let me hit the. What can I do here? What am I supposed to do? Even if I hit. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Not much, really. Drawing duplicate Thalia, 2 Tivar stand. This should have been something else, I think. Well, no. Luca is good in this matchup, I think. Is it good enough? Well, not when I can't cast it, so... I guess if I hit on foil, it would have been... Yeah, okay, if I drew a land, it would have been good. Would have been good. But now we're just gonna slowly lose on card advantage, on board, on everything. I have no mana to use this. That's a tap land. I don't have any token generation. This is taxed. It's just terrible. Terrible situation. I wish this died and I could just play this, but... I can only cast one of these. Mono white does not feel like a good matchup. At all. They have all exiles, so it bypasses all your protection other than might. Please deal with this. Please. Okay. I mean, I have to protect it. Like, there's no way around this. There's simply no way around it. Okay, they did not activate Bankbuster. Well, I have one turn to develop this, so good luck to me. I have one turn to develop this, and if it dies, I lose, and if it doesn't, then I maybe don't lose. And we lose. All the lands coming in now. Kind of have to play this. No choice. Kind of wish this was a Nissa. Nissa being much more impactful on the game than this. I am considering Nissa. I don't think Luca has like any impact ever almost. The crew in to kill Luca. I don't know how I win. Okay, it starts with Adeline. Adeline is the top deck Jetmir. How am I gonna get that? I don't know. Too much carded. I need to hit it back to back. That's actually not terrible, but no, I'm gonna have to channel that. I can't afford to protect. Like if they have another removal spell, they have another removal spell. I can't afford to use this. I'm gonna need this to come on the board. Top deck Adeline immediately. They need to never draw any removal ever again, or that. Or that. Yeah, this is not a great matchup, I think. Might is fine. It's not terrible. Jetmir gives me 6, which gives me trample. Okay. Jetmir is still potentially an ouch, although these creatures don't attack for much damage. So I'd probably have to wait until the next turn and then get the standoff with the trample. But I would have to dodge that, so I think I have to use the protection here. Jetmir, where are you? I mean, this is a 5/5, so even with trample, I'm not even not even sure we get anything done here. I think I need Adeline first and then Jetmir. No. Nope. Yeah, you would need, okay, a few things. One, Laurent. Like, there's no way Ganjo, like, Ganjo would just lose me the game anyways. Laurent, necessary. Peacekeeper is a consideration. In fact, it's a consideration potentially instead of King Darien, but probably not, because you need the stats. So those two things. Laurent, potentially Peacekeeper. Cathar, I think Nissa is a consideration, because it's extremely threatening against some decks that are slow and play enchantments and artifacts. Those 4 things I think I would add, and I'll see if I can figure out what to do with them after we concede this. But I do think this list has potential. I don't, it's definitely a lower consistency aggro deck, but I guess all aggro decks are kind of inconsistent. But compared to Esper, it lacks the card selection. It does not have reliable ways to consistently draw the spells it wants to draw. But it has more explosive potential. It has more of an explosive side to it where you can like actually dominate the game, where your opponent can do absolutely nothing. There are some matchups where you're gonna have you can have a easy time. Like it will be like almost free win. But the problem is the same can be said for Esper in some matchups. So you're upgrading the power, lowering the consistency. Usually there's a trade-off. There's never, if you're upgrading the power, you're losing something. There's usually, unless that, then that deck would be like the best deck in the meta, right? If there was a deck where you upgrade the power level of an already existing deck and you don't lower the consistency, then it is the best deck. But I don't know if that's the case for this right now. All right. Yeah, Boseiju, I'm not sold on that. I think it should just be Laurent. Like, Laurent gives you a creature, it gives you potential card draw as well. I don't like Boseiju. Giving only against Atraxa, and even against Atraxa, do you really need Boseiju? I don't think so. Also, 4th Tivar stand, I think is a little bit sketchy. I do think Luca's not, well, it would have been good if I hit the 4th land. I don't know. I think this has like higher ups. Like, it's more flexible. It's more flexible. I think flexibility is what this deck needs. You can also make creatures with this too, so it's not even that bad of a trade-off. Peacekeeper in some matchups will be absolutely fantastic. In others, not so much. I wonder if this Atsushi should just be Cathar. That way I save a sideboard slot, kind of. A Ganjo number 4, I'm okay with. So Kinzan number 4, I'm okay with. I don't know if it's necessary. Actually, is it necessary? Can we just cut this? Like, I don't know. For now, I'll leave it. I think these are like okay-ish. Like they're not really bad. I don't know if they're the best thing you can do, but I definitely don't think they're bad. I think another Cathar is quite good. Hmm. Last thing would be Peacekeeper potentially, if I feel like that's necessary, which it might be. Like I can see, so King Darian, there are some matchups where I would want to swap King Darian out for Peacekeeper. So I guess for now I'll play one Peacekeeper. There's still ways to go. I'm definitely down to tune this deck potentially. I didn't think it would be as enjoyable as it actually is to play. Although it has like very frustrating moments where, you know, you're either drawing too many lands, duplicate legendaries are really tough. Maybe I do have to go back down to like 3 malaria just because drawing multiples, definitely not good in this deck. Definitely not good to draw too many legendaries. So maybe this should be another Cathar, and then that way I can play 2 Peacekeeper. But yeah, too early to say. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you with that. There's still a lot of room for improvements. But I hope you all enjoyed the vid and the deck itself. And I'll be sure to play more of it because I actually enjoy it. So yeah, see ya. If you enjoy my content and would like to see me keep making it, consider joining my Patreon, where you will gain access to a bunch of bonus videos, other types of content, and of course, depending on the tier, other services as well. Thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that have already subscribed. I appreciate you all very much. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.